What's going on, everybody? Thank you all for joining me today. If you haven't already, please make sure you hit the like button because that is the most important thing you can do for me on this channel. What it does is that it helps to make sure that those who are subscribed to the channel will indeed get the notifications, and it also helps to push this video through the YouTube algorithm as well. Secondly, if you're new to the channel or maybe you've been ghost watching for quite some time now, please hit the subscribe button as well as the bell notification next to the subscribe button so you can be notified whenever I release a new video and stop ghost watching. And lastly, please share this video out on your social media platforms to your family and friends to notify them of this news and information. And that also helps give me a slight boost in the YouTube algorithm as well. With the introduction out of the way, now let's get into today's news. And today we are headed back to Ohio to speak on our good friend, Lionel Marino. For those of you who don't know, Lionel Marino is a big douche who crossed the border illegally to participate in this mass asylum fraud, but skipped out on his court date to justify his asylum seeking claim just to get on TikTok and become an illegal immigrant superstar that consistently gets online and mocks, I should say, viciously mocks American citizens over our outrage about the migrant crisis while flashing his money, laughing at us, saying that he gets to live like a king on our dime while we work like slaves. He would continuously and consistently mock and agitate American citizens, flashing his money, flashing his EBT card, and being as obnoxious as possible as he would virtually give us the finger while us citizens, we have to go to work and foot the bill for his lifestyle. Well, as you all know, ICE detained him. They locked him up, and he is currently possibly in the process of being deported. As he's in jail right now, this guy is literally crying in jail, playing the victim role. He is crying big crybaby tears right now. Migrant influencer who encouraged squatting whines to New York Post that he's a victim of persecution in a jailhouse interview. Oh yeah, there's that too. There's the fact that he encouraged other illegal immigrants to squat in American citizens' homes in an attempt to take over those homes and then resell the homes. That was what he was encouraging them to do. Once again, now he's in jail crying, saying that he's a victim of persecution. Now, excuse me for a moment. My throat is getting a little parched. I think is that the word. Let me just take a quick moment to sip on some Merino tears before we can get started. Hold on. Okay, let's get this video started. Those Merino tears taste great. Those persecution tears taste amazing. Crimea Rio Grande River. The jailed Venezuelan migrant influencer who viciously mocked America to his 500,000 TikTok followers and urged border crossers to invade abandoned houses now misses his glorious liberties he enjoyed in the US, whining to the Post this week that I miss my freedom. Oh, that's so sad, isn't it? He missed his freedom. Well, you'll be free once you get, deported back to Venezuela. You'll be free over there, but you're not going to be free over here. At least not for the time being. Lionel Moreno moaned that he is a victim of unjust persecution. Excuse me, let me. Marino tears. He's a victim of unjust persecution. Wednesday, during a 30-minute long video televisit from the county jail in Ohio. Here's a direct quote. Let's listen to these Marino tears right here. I came here to the United States because of persecution in my country, but they're doing the same thing to me in the United States, persecuting me. Marino, 27-year-old, wailed. It's all misinformation. I see he's going into the Democratic Party playbook. It's all misinformation in the media about me. They're defaming me. They're misrepresenting me in the news. I am a good father, a good husband, a good son, a good person, humble, respectful to people who respect me, continued Moreno, who spoke only Spanish and hid his face from the video camera's view for the duration of the interview. He couldn't even show his face. This guy wasn't even man enough or isn't even man enough to show his face after all of the disrespect that he showed towards American citizens. That is amazing, sad, and pathetic. He would go on to say, "I miss my entire life. I miss my freedom," he cried. I'm enjoying this one if you can't tell already. With Marino out of the frame because he's crying, with Marino out of the frame, the camera showed inmates in blue striped jumpsuits sitting at 5 silver metal tables through the glass window. At one point during the video visit, 5 scowling inmates looked in his direction, with some indecipherably shouting at him. So it sounds like he's getting the Diddy treatment in jail. That's why he doesn't want to show his face, because he's getting some of that Diddy action behind bars. He would go on to say, and I quote, "What is happening?" Marino could be heard muttering to himself, "I am afraid that they're going to kill me. They're coming for my life. Anyone," he said. Look at his face. You get what you deserve. You're getting exactly what you deserve. Anyways, let's carry on. The Venezuelan national could also face federal firearm charges, according to sources and internal federal documents reviewed by the Post this week. A series of March 14 videos still on Marino's Instagram account show him holding and showing firearms in a gun store, asking his followers which do they like the best. But Marino insisted he was thrown in the clink because of his inflammatory social media videos, and ironically vowed to use the First Amendment to fight any charges. That's hilarious. He's going to invoke his First Amendment rights, huh? If Lionel Moreno commits a crime or something, then they would be right. But it's because of my work. So this is unfair. Social media is my job. Now, to be fair, they didn't lock him up. ICE didn't pick him up because of social media. They picked him up because he missed his scheduled court appointment to justify his asylum seeking claim. If he would have went to court as opposed to being a douche on social media, then he would still be free. But instead, he opted to be a douche on TikTok and skip out on his court date. Now he's in jail, possibly in the process of being deported. So everything he's saying right now is nonsense. But I digress. Let's hear some more of what he had to say. If I want to say something now, I can say it. We've become an oppressive country instead of a free country where we can express whatever is in our hearts. The United States was created to be that, not to oppress, he said. First off, who is we? We've become an oppressive country? Bro, you just got here like 2 weeks ago. You literally just got here, and you couldn't even be bothered to go to your scheduled court appointment to justify your asylum seeking claim. So there's no we at that point. You had no care or desire to become we. You only wanted to be an exploitative douche who got up on social media to make fun of American citizens because you got to live off our tax dollars, and now you're in jail because of it. There is no we, my friend. There's only you. Let's carry on. Now, here are some of the examples of the douche remarks and douche statements that he would make on social media, making fun of American citizens, right? He would state, "I didn't cross the Rio Grande to work like a slave," Marino said in one Instagram clip while waving a stack of $100 bills into his face. In the same video, Marino claimed to have enough money to support himself, his girlfriend, and their daughter, whom was born in October, for at least 18 months without having to work. The Venezuelan also called for his fellow countrymen to unite in support of the 15-year-old illegal immigrant who's accused of firing shots that injured a tourist in Times Square on February 8th. Now, for those of you who are not familiar with that situation, there was an illegal immigrant Venezuelan in Times Square on February 8th who went into a sporting goods store and attempted to steal a jacket. When he grabbed the jacket and ran out, I believe it was a female security guard who attempted to stop him. He would turn around, pull a gun out, and shoot at the female security guard, missing the female security guard and hitting a female tourist in the knee as she was at the checkout paying for her items. This is the guy that Mr. Marino is calling for other illegal immigrants to rally around in support of. Just for context, that's who he's saying everyone needs to be in support of. TikTok last week shut down Marino's account, which had roughly 500,000 followers. But his Instagram profile is still active and has more than 17,000 followers. The social media personality insisted to the post that the person in his videos was just that, a fictional character. And I quote, "The person who is in my videos, my character, is not the same person as Lionel Marino. I am a different person. We can't confuse one with the other. We can't confuse my character with my real life." But indeed we can, Mr. Marino. Indeed we can, because there is a great quote, and I wish I remember who it was from. I can't remember who stated this, but it's something that I live by online, right? As I do my work online, and the individual stated, "You are who you pretend to be," and that is so true. When you're online, on YouTube, Instagram, whatever other social media platforms, at the end of the day, you are who you pretend to be. Some are their 100% true, authentic selves. Some are playing a character. But if you're indeed playing a character, you are who you pretend to be. Because I don't know you in real life, just like you don't know me in real life. When I get on YouTube, I give you a side of me, but I make sure to give you the best side of me that I can, which is the closest representation as possible to who I actually am. Is who you see on YouTube the entirety and totality of who I am as a person? No, it is not. There are other aspects of me, but I give you the best version of me as possible, because at the end of the day, you are who you pretend to be. And when you choose to conduct yourself like this, let me pull this photo up for you very quickly. Let me scroll to it, right? When you choose to be a big douche like this, right? You see his face? You see the big douche face where he makes fun of American citizens and calls us slaves and say, "Aha, you have to go to work and I don't." When you choose to be a big douche like this, well, then you get what you have coming, especially when you're missing court dates and breaking the law and being a complete a-hole. You get what you deserve at the end of the day. So whoever Lionel Marino is in real life, I don't believe you. I believe that this guy that we're looking at right now is you. I think that you're saying otherwise only because you're scared of being deported back to Venezuela, which I hope that you do. And to be honest with you, and I'll say this in closing, I said this in a previous video when I covered this guy. I personally and honestly, I don't have much faith in the fact that he'll be deported as long as Biden's in office. I'm sure some way, shape, form, or fashion, he'll be out back on the streets being more douchey than ever under this administration, because this administration just doesn't deport anyone. I believe last time I ran through some statistics, there were some close to 400,000 Venezuelan illegal immigrants that crossed the border in fiscal year 2023, I believe it was. And out of that 400,000, I believe it might have been 380 something thousand, roughly around only 800 had been deported. So, he's not, for as fun as it is for me to give him what he's been giving us and mock him and make fun of him, I honestly just don't have much confidence in the fact that he's going to be deported under the Biden administration. Now, if he still finds himself detained after the election and Trump gets into office, well, that's a different story. He's out of here. But if he's able to manage to get out prior to that time, I just wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised. But until then, we're going to laugh. We're going to gloat, and we're going to sip on our Moreno tears. So one more time as we head out. Moreno tears taste great. Thank you all for joining me today. Please hit the like button on your way out. Subscribe to the channel if you're new to the channel. Share this video out on your social media platforms, and make sure you follow me on Telegram at TD Media Group. The link to my Telegram is in the description box below, and it will be pinned in the comment section as well. And until the next video, peace, have a great afternoon, and enjoy your Moreno tears today, because they are indeed delicious.